most of the erection problems they tend to see surgeons and whoever, but most of them also have endocrine origins. And so whenever you see a doctor and he gives what he is supposed to give, but you're not getting response, just know that cells are involved, and those cells are controlled by hormones, and there's a specialty that studies these hormones that govern how cells function. My name is Dr. Christian Omali. I'm a resident endocrinologist at Endocrinology Hospital, Kisumu. I'm also a trained physician. Endocrinology is a subspecialty of medicine. At the beginning, endocrinology was described as just a study of endocrine glands. And endocrine glands are glands that produce what we call hormones, which are chemicals produced by certain type of specialized cells that tend to influence the activity of cells very far from them. So we call it distant cells. But over the years, endocrinology has broadened. It is now described as endocrinology, diabetes, metabolism, and nutrition. Why? Because we discovered that diabetes is the commonest endocrine problem. It has to do with a hormone called insulin. And also, because these chemicals don't just affect distant cells, they also affect how their neighboring cells act and themselves. Metabolism is also involved. And we now know from current evidence that what we eat, whatever you eat tends to also affect the way your cells act or metabolize. So it's now a very broad specialty. Being broad, what it means is that it subserves all the other specialties in internal medicine, things like nephrology, cardiology, neurology. Why? Because we were now noticing that even these other organs that these other specialties of medicine they also study, they also have endocrine functions. For example, the heart. The heart is the organ that is being studied by cardiologists, which is a subspecialty of medicine that has to deal with diseases of the heart and how to treat it. But we now know that the heart is also an endocrine organ. It can also produce chemicals that can act on the function of a distant organ, like the kidney. When do you see an endocrinologist is now quite broad. The symptoms of the disease are broad. Problems of the heart may be linked with endocrine problems. For example, people who have what we call acromegaly or excess growth hormone, which is a form of hormone, they tend to have heart problems. People that have what we call thyrotoxicosis, where the thyroid gland, which is a gland that's usually swollen in the neck, those high hormones can also affect the heart. Issues with weight. We now know that weight is not just about eating, but there are certain hormones that also affect your weight. Infertility. Then we should think it's just about the sperm in men and the eggs in women. But now we know that there are so many hormones or chemicals that tend to influence the fertility of the sperm and the eggs. And when to see an endocrinologist, ideally, it should be when we feel that the condition cannot be completely explained by one specialty. We tend to start with, for example, somebody has a heart problem, has high blood pressure, and we say, okay, high blood pressure, go and see a cardiologist. But the cardiologist starts treatment, or the general physician starts giving drugs to lower the blood pressure. But the pressure is not responding. Why? Because a certain hormone, for example, aldosterone, which is a hormone produced by the adrenal glands, which is another gland close to the kidney. So it is now a specialty that cuts across a wide spectrum of medicine. I'm talking about not just diabetes, which is a very common endocrine problem that has to do with sugars and insulin, to the thyroid gland, where the thyroid gland is enlarged, which is very common, to fertility, where there are issues with getting conception, to weight, where we think it's just about eating, not knowing that there are certain hormones that is making, even if the patient is not eating, is starving himself, still adding weight because hormones are involved that are preventing the patient from losing weight, to energy levels where we think, oh, we're getting weak or getting strong because of exercise, not knowing that certain hormones are low, which affect our energy levels. Even to memory, where sometimes we think, oh, our memory is because of the subject is difficult, or we don't understand, or age, not knowing that it may be a low hormone. For example, thyroid hormone low and it's affecting memory. To height, where we think, oh, the growth is natural, but not knowing that certain hormones have to be understood to determine our height. And even down up to the kidney problem, where we think, oh, this problem is just kidney not working, not knowing that there are certain hormones that are worsening the condition.